Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, what we're going to see is we are going to upload a CSV file to Amazon S3 bucket. So as soon as the file gets uploaded, this file is going to trigger an event which is going to call Lambda function. This Lambda function is going to check if there is a CSV file uploaded into the bucket. If it is a CSV file, it will get the CSV file object data. It will fetch the data and we will process that data so that it can be pushed to the DynamoDB table. So let's go ahead and see how it can be done. So let me take you to the console. So first we will create a S3 bucket. Okay. Let me create a new bucket. Bucket name would be CSV S3 bucket. Okay. Now I will just remove block called public access, acknowledge, and I will create the bucket. Okay. So as the bucket is created now, what we will do, next I will go and open DynamoDB. So in DynamoDB, I am going to create a new table. If I go to tables, create table. So over here, the table name would be user and the partition key would be ID. Okay. So now if I create a table, so as you can see, the table is getting created. If I refresh it, still getting created. Okay, so the table is created successfully. So now once table is created, what I'm going to do is I am going to go to IAM console. Why I'm going to IAM console? Now we are going to create a policy. Along with policy, we are going to create a rule. So first I will click on create policy. On this create policy, I will select S3. So for S3, we would be doing a read action. So in read, let's not select everything. Get bucket ACL, bucket location, bucket notification, get bucket tagging, get object, object ACL, versioning, object tagging. Okay, so that's it. I think that should be enough for us uh, for this lab. So for resources, I will keep all resources. Now S3 permission is done. Now I will just go ahead and add DynamoDB permission. Over here we will require write permission, and that write permission would be put item, but meanwhile I will also select create table and uh, just create table. That's it. So resources would be all resources, add, and the most important would be cloud watch logs. So for CloudWatch log, I will keep all, and resources would be also all resources. Let's have a look what exactly is created in JSON. If you see S3 DynamoDB put item, along with that the logs. Now if I go ahead and create next review, over here I will just CSV policy for Lambda. I will just copy this name, create policy. Okay, policy is created. I will go to roles, create role. Inside create role, I will select Lambda, next permission. I will copy paste our policy. I will select it, next tags. So when I go to review, so over here, you can see the policy, CSV policy for Lambda is attached successfully. Okay, let's create role. Once role is created, it will give a pop-up. Let's click on that and verify if the policy is added. Yes, our policy is added. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open Lambda. Along with Lambda, I'm going to open CloudWatch. Okay. So now for Lambda, what I will do, so I will just go ahead and create a new function. Function name would be CSV S3 Lambda and Python 3.9. So over here in existing role, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select CSV role for Lambda. Okay, selected, create function. So once function is created, first let's go to configuration and check if we have the proper permission. If I drop down, if you can see CloudWatch logs permission is there in DynamoDB and Amazon S3. Okay, we got it re-verified. Now if I go over here in log groups, so the function name is CSV S3 Lambda. If I search with CSV, oh sorry, my bad, CSV, you would see there is no log. Right now there is only 17 log groups. Now let me just test this Lambda to see if it is creating logs. Okay, so the Lambda got triggered. Refresh. Okay, so log group became 18. That means the log is created. So if I click on this, so guys, you can see the log is created successfully over here. Okay, now why it is important, I will show you. So meanwhile, we will check this. What? Uh, Let me go back to the Lambda function. Okay, so in Lambda function, what I'm going to do is first, what kind of event gets triggered when a file is getting uploaded into the S3 bucket. So if I open our S3 bucket, CSV S3 bucket, so you can see there is no file, but we need an event which gets triggered. Why we need that event? Because if I click on test, you can see there is right now we have just configured a dummy event over here. Okay, so let's have a proper event. Why would we would require this event? So once you copy paste the event and the kind of event that gets generated, it is easy for us to test our code that we are writing. So we can test our code line by line. So what I will do, I will just close this. Now I will go to CSV and I will try to upload CSV file over here. Okay, so my file name is csv underscore file 1.csv. So this okay, let me open and show this CSV to you guys. So what I have done in this CSV, if you see, this CSV is holding three record. It is the ID, name and salary. So it is A B C D E F X Y Z and 400. Okay, I'll just close it. So if I click on upload, okay, before clicking on upload, I forgot one thing. So this event which is getting generated, we want this event to be sent to Lambda. So if this event is going to send to Lambda and going to get displayed over here, before that we have to create an event mapping. So for event mapping, what I will do, I will go over here in Lambda function. I will click on add trigger. In add trigger, I will create an event mapping where I will select my bucket. So before doing that, let me show you. Let me cancel this and let me go to properties. So if you see right now, the event, if you see, so this is blank. Okay, now once we are going to add a trigger, there would be entry added over here. So over here we are going to do it on put object, and we only want this event to notify or run Lambda only when we have a CSV file uploaded. If I click on add, now if I go over here, see, I'm just objects, properties, see, so in event notification, a new event got generated. Okay, so now whatever event is getting generated, it is going to pass that event to our Lambda function. So now I will just go ahead and upload an object. Okay, so I will just click on upload and we will monitor our log file. So right now you can see there is only one log stream. If I click on upload, let's go to CloudWatch logs, reload, reload. Okay, so let's see. So the file is uploaded successfully. Okay, so what I missed over here is, let's go to the code. Over here we are going to first print the event. Okay, I will show you how the original event looks like and what kind of format we are looking for. So over here I will use json.dumps method, which will convert the event into JSON output. Okay, so deploy. Now I will once again go ahead and delete. Okay, so object is deleted. Let's go back, upload object, and upload the file once again over here. And I will click on upload, and let's see if it returns the data that we are looking for. See, now new log stream is getting created. If I click on this, what I'm trying to show you guys, see, this is the output that it is going to send us. Okay, now as you can see, this output is not formatted into JSON format. Now what is this? This is print event. So this is the event that we received to Lambda from S3. Okay, now what I'm doing over here is, after that I am using JSON terms. This is going to convert this event into JSON format. So if I am going to click on this, you can see this is the JSON format. Now I will just copy this JSON format. Okay, and I will go back to my Lambda, and under test just copy paste it over here. So now save it. So now it will be easy for us to test our code. No need of uploading file again and again to test our code. So over here I will just write success. Okay, so now we don't require this print. So first, so to get the object from S3 bucket, what we have to use is, we have to use a function named getObject. So let's go to S3 Boto3. So in S3 Boto3, if I go inside, so what we're going to use is, we are going to use a client. So for client, we will just copy this. Okay, I will just take it up. So I just copied this. Okay, let me paste it over here. So we would require Boto3. So Boto3, I will just make it as S3 underscore client Boto3. And now what we have to do is, we have to search for get underscore object. Now guys, we have to use this function to get the object which has been uploaded, that is a CSV file, and fetch it content. So we can process that content and push that content to DynamoDB table. So this is the request syntax of this get object. And if you see over here, bucket is required, that is mandatory, and the other is key. If I take you down, see, key is also required. So we have to make sure that we have these two values to be passed as an argument. So we have to fetch these two values from the JSON that we have received. Okay, that is the event that we converted to JSON, and the response syntax would be in dictionary format. So once we get the response syntax in dictionary format, we have to get our file content from this streaming body, which is this body. So let's do one thing. Let's go back to our Lambda code, and in Lambda code, what we are going to do now is, first, okay, before doing that, I will just go back over here, JSON beautifier. Let me open JSON beautifier for you. Okay, so now let me go back to Lambda. If I go to my test event, just copy this, close, go back to JSON beautifier. If I click on this, so guys, I will just show you what I'm. So in this, we are, as you see, this is going to have a object. So this is JSON object that got returned. So the object that we got is been displayed over here. So now what we have to fetch is, we have to fetch the bucket name that is over here, and we have to fetch the key. So key is the file name, and name is the bucket name. So we have to traverse through this JSON object and fetch the file. So for that, what we will do, let's create a variable named bucket. Okay, bucket is equal to now the event that we got. So from event we will first require, so in event, that is records. Okay, so it will be records, and in records we have only one record, and in one record, so let me show you. So first we did records. Under records we went to 0. Now under 0 we are going to go to S3, and under S3, if you see, this is under S3. So under S3 we have to go to bucket. So after 0 it will be S3, and after S3 it will be, so inside S3 if you see, we have to take bucket, and under bucket we are looking for name. Okay guys, let's try to print to see if we are able to fetch the value. Deploy, test was successful, and you can see we were able to take the bucket name. Now let's do the same for the key value. I will just, so for key value, let's see. So if you see records, under record 0, and under 0, see key also comes under S3. So till S3 I will just copy the same file, csv underscore file underscore name is equal to, so I will just copy till S3. So under S3, if I go to S3, so see this, under S3 we have to go to object. So I went to object, and under object I will go to key. So this is the key, which would be the file key. So let's go ahead and print this to cross verify if our code is perfect. Test. So guys, as you can see, we were able to fetch the file name also. Now what we have to do is, I will just remove this. So now we are going back to our function that we were going to create. So let's go ahead, and now what I'm going to do is, I am going to use this Ubuntu documentation, and by using this I am going to invoke the get underscore object method. This object method is going to provide us a list. So let's go ahead and invoke this method. Okay, so invoking the method, so I will just invoke the method, and the method name would be csv underscore object is equal to s3 client dot get underscore object, and within this we will have to pass our parameters. What are the parameters? It is going to be bucket is equal to bucket comma and key is equal to csv file. Now let's see what type of object it returns. As we already saw, it is going to return a dictionary object. So deploy the code, test. So as you can see, it has returned a dictionary. So now as it has returned a dictionary, we have to decode this dictionary that has been returned and fetch the value of body. So what I will create, file underscore reader is equal to CSV object, and under CSV object we are going to get body. So I used the body over here dot decode, sorry, first we will use read, then we will use dot decode to UTF-8, UTF-8. Okay, now it's decoded. Now this is before decoding. If you see, it is going to be a dictionary, and after decoding it is going to be a JSON string. If I deploy the code and if I click on test, so guys, as you can see, the date, oh sorry, my bad. So as you can see, this file reader is going to be decoded into a class string. So see, from dictionary it became string. Now what we are going to do is, I will just go over here. Now let's try to print file reader. So the value that we got, so what we have to do is, so this is a string. So if we want to save the value under a dictionary using string, so what we can use is, we can use the Python method which is split. So what is split? It splits a string into a list where each word, so for our case each word is going to be a element in the list. Let me show you how it works. So let's get the user list is equal to file reader dot split. So why we are splitting it? So as you can see, every record was on new line, so we are going to split it based on the new line. Now once it is splitted, I will just go ahead and print users for you. So this is going to be from string, it will be converted to a list. So deploy test. So guys, as you can see, from string it got converted to list. But what we can see over here, when we use /n, so by default that /n took one empty element also over here. So this, if we run this empty element, it is going to throw some exception or error every time we run the code. So what we can do is, we have to remove this empty element. So remove this to remove this empty element from the list, we are going to use a filter method. So the filter method filters the given sequence with the help of a function that tests each element in the sequence to be true or not. So what I will do, again I will select users over here. Users is equal to, we want our data back as list, so we will typecast it by using list. So in list I will use the method filter and within filter none comma users. Now again let's print users, deploy test. So guys, over here what we did, first we got string, and this string was having /n after each value. So we splitted our string based on /n, and we fetch that all element into one list. So in that list you can see this is one entire list, this string is one entire list over here. So while doing that, as we used /n, it took one empty element also. So by using the filter method we removed that empty element. Now what we are going to do is, now we have a proper list with proper value. So what we will do, we will use a for loop to traverse this list, and by traversing this list we are going to push the value to DynamoDB table. So what I will do, I will use a for loop for user in users colon user underscore data is equal to user dot split. So again we are going to split every specific value that we have. So for example, just a minute, let me just remove. So first, when we are going to traverse to the list, it is going to give us a value. Let me show you first. So while traversing the list, first it will pick this value. Okay, so in this value we are fetching elements one by one. We are splitting it by using comma. So that is why we are using comma. So based on that we will fetch our values. So now I will just go ahead. So now you will understand why we are using comma over here. Now once we use comma, so we have to use our DynamoDB method. So let's go to Boto3. So over here I will search for DynamoDB Boto3. So in this DynamoDB Boto3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use service resource. In service resource I will be using table. So let me just copy this. So before doing this, let me go back. First I will have to use this. Let me invoke my client over here. After S3 my client is invoked. Over here itself I will fetch the table value. So table value over here, and we will change the table name to user that we have created. Okay, now what we are going to do is we have to put item. So put underscore item, we are going to use this method. So for using this method we have to pass the item values over here, so which is required. So let's go back to our code. So in this code I am going to use table dot put underscore item. Now in item, what I will do, I will use item is equal to, okay, so over here as I said, the data that I have, it is in ID, name and salary format. But how we are going to use that ID, name and salary, where we are going to mention it, we are going to mention that in our for loop. So over here first I will use ID space colon. So what is going to be my ID? ID is going to be my user data 0th element, comma, then it will be name colon user data 1, comma, then it will be salary user data. Okay, so now what it is going to do is it is going to fetch the value one by one, and it is going to push into the DynamoDB table. So let's go to DynamoDB table, click on users, click on explore table items. So right now if you see, we don't have any items over here. So let's run this code and see if we are able to run this code successfully or if we are facing some error. Let me test. So guys, the code was successful. Okay, so as the code was successful, we should go over here and refresh it. And guys, as you can see, all the three values we were able to push to DynamoDB table. Now, as you see, our code was successful. So what I will do, I will keep the code as it is, and instead of testing our code from this Lambda function, we are going to test it in real time by uploading the CSV file. I will just delete this items. So now, as you can see, the table is empty. Okay, let's go to S3, close. So I will just remove this file and re-upload it again. Okay, so before doing that, I will go to CloudWatch logs. So into the Lambda logs, I will just select all the log stream. I will delete it. Sorry. So you can see all the log stream is getting deleted. Now, whatever when it is going to trigger the Lambda, new log stream would be created, and we would be able to see what activity happens by using this log group. So if I close, upload. So in upload, let me upload the file once again for you, and I clicked on upload. Now let's wait for the logs. Okay, let me refresh it. So now new log stream got created. I click on that log stream, and guys, as you can see, each and every print object was executed successfully and we have no errors. That means our entire Lambda code was successful. Whenever the CSV file gets uploaded, it triggers an event which calls the Lambda function, and that Lambda function is going to push the value into the DynamoDB table. Let me refresh it. So guys, as you can see, all the values were pushed over here. So thank you for joining the session, guys. Have a great day. Goodbye.